And hey everybody, welcome back. BogMod here. We're about to go face off with the, I presume, the Lord of the region and find out what nefarious schemes they're up to. But before we do that, I was reminded of something, and I want to take this moment to talk about one of, I think, the best combinations of scene and music in a JRPG, which is from Final Fantasy IX. The song is You Are Not Alone, or the musical piece, I suppose, is more accurate. It's the scene with Zidane. He's had the proverbial, there's been the revelations that have destroyed and crushed his spirit, but his friends are trying to save him and bring him back. The whole way it plays out, and the music that accompanies it. The perfect mix of scene and music. Just fantastic. If you have any moments from video games that you think were particularly perfectly matched by the music that played in them, let me know. I don't know that Tales here is going to be quite so emotional. It's doing all right, but it's not standing out like that in my mind. But we'll see what happens. Let's press on. Magic-y science.
There's nobody here. It's been nothing but Zeugles.
And I mean, this is, setting-wise, a pretty dark game.
They have to be holed up somewhere, right?
From the look of things, I don't think anybody's been here for a while. If anyone was here, they're long gone now.
Oh, it's a Super Zeugle.
That can't be. Look out!
Bonk.
We'll figure this out later. Right now, this thing needs dealing with.
Yeah, I'm thinking that's what was being done down here. Level 8, Temeraris.
Did Bayfon lie?
He didn't seem the type to lead us on a wild.
Hey, save your questions until after we manage to finish this thing.
I can heal myself, thank you.
Healer, you cannot be ready.
That's the wisest thing you've ever said.
Oops.
Leave the ensnaring to me.
No more hopping about.
Where are you going? Well, I'm impressed. It's weakened. Searing flame! Refining meteor! I'm out. Look sharp. There. Got flaming meteor!
This guy isn't so tough, so far at least. Did I forget to, I don't think we've used that much. I think I forgot to use that healing spot. Ha ha! I'm an idiot. I was too busy being all like, I'm gonna talk about the emotional moments in the video games. The ones that make me be full of the feels. And I forgot to heal up. Well, I'm dumb. That's all I can say. Oh well. Go after the bit.
Such unadulterated glory.
Get it?
Here's a healing art. Right, watch out.
Some punishment?
No. Don't leave me alone.
I'm running out of life bottles. We'll use an orange gel because we can do resurrection magics.
Okay, you're finished. Not
I
today.
don't have much left. I'll heal you all.
Short range alpha.
Oh, he summoned goons.
Did you just kill me?
Yes, I need you, remember?
Right.
Ow. Alright, we'll use a life bottle. I know I haven't used a lot of them. And I don't have a lot to spare.
Now, while it's reeling.
Take it down.
Short range alpha.
I owe you one. Just got me in this fight.
Now let's use an orange gel.
Short range alpha. I'm not done. It's over.
Here's a
Dragon swarm.
I never miss.
This is some
Now
punishment.
you've got it. Come on. You have to hold on.
Take this.
I'll bring you back to next a bit. All right.
Dragon swarm.
There we go. Perfect.
Commander of heaven.
Phoenix strike.
Did it.
Yeah. Nice technique.
I'm not done.
I'll bring you back from death. Unhurt bad. Feel the far enough. I'll bring you back from
It's
death
on.
abyss.
You're mine. I'm not
Their arcs were interrupted.
Dragon swarm.
Make it break. Reload. Go for it.
Alright, goons are dead.
Benediction light.
Go. Lightning. This one's mine.
Burn.
I'm out. I'm on guard.
Alright, now we're gonna use we're gonna use that pineapple gel.
It's over.
Light.
Should do it.
Keep up the pressure.
Odds of being interrupted.
Now you're getting serious. Pierce evil.
Benediction light.
Freeze lantern.
Another incantation ruined.
Where are you going?
Too much. Looks bad.
What's about you people?
Take this. Crush.
You could use a hand.
No further.
You pay for that.
Ready to the healing art. Nicole.
I owe you one.
Both of them.
Mega ray. Annihilation. Hear me. Flame of fury. Burning strike. I'll bring you back from death to bit. Ready to go.
Come on, buddy. Chase me.
Resuscitation. I have to train harder. Here going in.
It's on.
Burning strike. Glacial spear. Pierce evil. Freeze
Come on.
lantern. I'll bring you back from death to bit.
There we are. That's the healing spell I wanted to hear.
I'm not done.
Healing circle. We've almost got this.
Almost isn't quite there yet.
I like your attitude.
Watch yourself.
I'm right with you, Captain.
Incredible power.
Dragon swarm.
Point to the shadow. Ready to fight. Denied.
Benediction.
That move.
Here comes the big one.
This one's mine.
Short range alpha.
This one's mine.
Elusive
deity.
Rotating pile driver.
Healing circle. Still
Take this. Wide open.
Yes, the core broke.
This one's all you. Seismic rupture. Explosive ray. Short range alpha.
And then I use this move. And there we go. Costly. But, you know, I like a fight. I like a boss fight that isn't a complete walkover. That uses that, you know,
So much for finding the Lord.
you gotta use some
Come on,
points.
let's get back to Niaz.
Shion, calm down. This isn't like you. What's wrong? Talk to me.
That, I disagree. It's completely
It's
like
none
her.
of your concern.
Even after everything we've been through together?
Even after our 1 week.
Two of us are only helping each other because our interests overlap. Remember?
Are you serious? You helped me come to terms with Zephyr's death. You put your life on the line to save me. Don't tell me you did all that out of necessity. That it was only because we have a common goal. Fine.
Huh?
You don't want to answer? Then I'll do whatever I like from now on, too.
Aw, don't be
Clearly,
like
I'm
that,
just
buddy.
bothering you. So it doesn't matter if you tell me what's on your mind. But that doesn't mean I'm going to stop looking out for you. Not now, not ever.
I guess he turned it around
That's
there at
not
the end.
fair. Why can't you just leave me alone? You don't know the first thing about me.
But I do. I know you care about the pain of others. You care, Shion. That's why I want to help.
Because of my thorns, I thought I had been doomed to a life of solitude. Until the day I died. I knew I would be alone.
I mean, you didn't weren't alone. You just couldn't touch people. I know there is something about physical contact. I'm not going to say there isn't. It's not quite the same as being alone. Sparky spark. At least they're just magic hurty pain, rather than, like, tear his hand up into nothingness type pain. Right? Like the sword wrecks his hand. The thorns are just pain.
I'm trying to end my curse.
Okay.
And get rid of my thorns.
Get rid of? There's a way to do that? Really?
I'm not completely sure. All I know is there's a chance. But that's the reason I need the Renis Alma.
The Renis Alma?
The Master Core to end all Master Cores. It is bestowed upon the winner of the Crown contest, the new Sovereign, as proof of their victory. It must be assembled from all 5 Master Cores.
Okay.
That's why taking down the Lords is so important to you. But Shion, you're not in this alone. If there's a chance we can rid you of your thorns, I'll be by your side.
So this is interesting, actually.
That includes
I'm going
us,
to talk about this in a
right?
bit. We'll let the scene play out.
Like it or not, you're going to have to get used to relying on us every now and then.
What kind of friends would we be otherwise?
Thank you.
Danon Liberation and the Renis Alma. Looks like we've got our work cut out for us. If we have any hope of finding this Lord and their Master Core, we start by heading back to Nias.
Okay, well, so this is interesting.
Who would have thought we'd ever get thanked by Shion?
Sounds like someone wants me to grab their arm.
I'm joking. Damn, you're scary sometimes.
Shion's not scary at all.
Alvin.
Can be.
I'll just, leave you two alone.
So this is interesting. So when we started this session, right, I talked a little bit about one of the I think premier moments of gameplay and music integration. She's talked about ultimately she just wants to not be alone. And so there was another game from many years ago that I played called Manichaemia: The Alchemists of Al Revis, which is a very lighthearted JRPG. You play a mysterious student who'd spent most of his life alone, coming to magical alchemy school. Right? It's I believe it's part of the whole broad Atelier series, or Atelier, whatever. I can never remember how to pronounce that name. Anyways, it's part of that whole kind of series, like Ryza and all them, but a little different. Anyway, so he's a teenager. He's going to alchemy school, making friends, maybe falling in love, all that sort of stuff. And with him, he's got his little magical familiar cat, right? His mana, as they're known, these magical beings that form special contracts with the alchemists. And spoilers here. Because I'm talking about the ending here. Spoilers ahead. So you have been good and justly warned. So it turns out that you are no ordinary child in the game. You are in fact a mana yourself. This other alchemist was so damn good he was basically immortal. And after a tragedy in that guy's life, he decided that he wanted to die. And he created the main character, an artificial mana, an artificial godlike being, something that would finally have the power to grant his wish of dying. And that was the first thing your character ever did, though you forget about it. You killed your father/creator. And then years later, you joined this alchemy school because he'd done some things to kind of get you looked after. You go through your months taking classes, and you're building your friendships and all the JRPG hijinks that go on. You know, you get your rivals and all that sort of stuff. All that thing you'd expect in an alchemy school in a video game. Until it all comes out, the revelation of what you are, what you did, what you can do, the power you have. And in your character's moments of doubt, your subconscious acts up and starts to create like this encroaching subdimension growth that started to swallow up the school. So you and your friends, you go into it, and you confront your subconscious / the heart of your own power, and you defeat it to stop it and save the school and save everything, right? Now, if you're doing the bad ending, if you didn't finish in any of the storylines for the other characters, what happens is you're the main character. He tells his friends to go outside without them. He can stop this thing, but he can't do it with them there, and then he'll join them. And they believe him, and they go outside. But it has never been his intent. It was never his intent to go out with them. No, because ultimately, though he has spent his life alone and only wanting to have friends and avoid the pain of his loneliness, he worries more about his power hurting them than about the pain it causes him. And this teenage kid decides that he is going to stay in his dimension. He's going to let his power fade. He's going to let this dimension fade away and take him with it. He's going to vanish from reality. Because better he die and vanish than he risk hurting his friends. And you know, they're waiting at the exit, trusting that he's going to come out, and he never does. Realizing that he never intended to.
Is it just me, or is anyone else peckish?
Quiet, you. And then the familiar, right? The cat. His magic cat who could talk to him, who had been his companion his entire life.
A land where the winds scar.
And in your final moments, the cat comes in. Can't talk anymore. It was never a familiar.
Just let him be.
That let it talk, that let it be intelligent like a human, all that kind of stuff. That made it into a friend and a true companion, all that sort of. That was all your character's power. And as your powers faded, your cat's just a cat now. All it can do is meow and lay down next to you as the world goes dark and vanishes. So, in your final moments, you're not alone. And it's such a sad, poignant, tragically dark ending that this kid commits suicide for his friends. Even though he doesn't want to be alone, though it hurts him. And it's just so very sad. And then we have her story, which I can't help but feel touches on some of those same sentiments. Growing up, this feeling of loneliness. Someone will remove the most vital components. Interesting. Alright, so. Though I don't feel as bad for Shion as I do for Vayne. It's an interesting note that we have this whole loneliness angle again popping up.
I can't believe this. To think they would give us a bad lead like that. Where could that lord actually be?
Beats me. That said, there's no point wandering around aimlessly trying to look.
I mean, this is a bad lead, but I don't think they were intentionally lying.
What's wrong, Kisara?
Oh, I was just thinking about what it meant for there to be castles here on Dana. People build castles to protect things that are important for one reason or another. But not simply that. They're also used to project a ruler's power.
So what you're saying is, even before the Renans invaded, the Danans were still being ruled over. It was just by other Danans.
That's most likely the case, yeah. Though who knows how they led their people.
But after seeing Deadeye, I can't picture them being all that benevolent themselves.
What if it's in everyone's nature to rule over and control others? What are we supposed to do about that?
If it really is in our nature, then no. All that means is we have all the more reason to fight it. That's all there is to it.
I mean, there's a wide variety of traits that are in our nature. So I wouldn't be too worried on that front. Alright, well, let's leave, I guess. Maybe she returned to her castle.
About damn time. Took long enough.
But that's...
Right. I can't wait.
Head on over to the plaza.
Did they capture the
What's
Lord?
going on? It seems busier here than before.
Hey, look! Isn't that Bayfon over there?
Ah, there you are. It seems I owe you all an apology. I'm guessing you didn't.
Oh, I'm
find the
guessing
Lord
they caught the Lord.
first, did you?
No, but something tells me you already knew that.
That I did. Turns out I bit down on some bad intel when I should have known better. Apparently, Deadeye's not as trusting of me as I thought.
Shocking
But
from
why
what we
would
know
he
of him.
feed you bad intel?
My guess? He wanted me to lead you all astray. Make sure you weren't sniffing around where he didn't want you to be.
Guessing he wants the credit for taking
While
out
you
the
were off in
Lord.
the forest, I got word that one of our squads captured the Lord.
Yeah.
The place wasn't even close to where you were searching.
I see. Well, the important thing is that you finally caught her. Did you suffer many casualties?
You're not going to believe this, but she didn't even put up a fight.
Oh,
She
there's
had no
something.
escort
There's
either.
some scheme afoot.
Well, what about her master core? Was it recovered?
Sorry. They only briefed me on the basics. For now, Deadeye's getting ready to make his victory speech out in the plaza. In the
I am
meantime, I've been ordered to set
suspicious.
up a defense perimeter around the outside of the city. So I'll be out of town for a while. I imagine Deadeye will announce what he intends to do with the Lord during his speech. You'll have to let me know how it goes. Anyway, until next time.
You think something's
A
afoot?
Renan Lord surrendering without a fight?
Yeah.
Something doesn't add up here.
I'm afraid I can't say I know much of her lordship personally.
There's a lot about this that doesn't make sense. The Master Core is a concern too. Let's stick around like Bayfon suggested and see what happens. We don't leave until we get to the bottom of this. I'm
All right.
worried about just what Deadeye has in store for Almadria.
We'll take our
For
break
now,
here
let's
then.
wait at the end until he gives his victory speech.
If you have any moments from video games that you think that particularly affected you or touched you, or even years later you remember, do share them down below. Let me know. I'm always curious to see what else has touched people in these games. Otherwise, I will talk to you all later, and have a great night.